christiangeekcentral.com. The song goes like this.
Hey, I'm Peter Franson from christiangeekcentral.com and Spirit Blade Productions. Welcome to Trial and Error, where I play the first part of a game or a game demo, usually do that pretty badly, and give you my thoughts along the way. This time I'm taking a look at the game Outward. This game has the potential to be something that I'll either really enjoy or just not find much joy in at all. I don't like difficult games. I am definitely not interested in Souls-like games. The developers have described this game as being difficult, where it's an open-world third-person RPG, but you are not a hero, you're not a chosen one, you're just a normal person trying to make your way in this super dangerous world. The appeal for me is open-world, third-person RPG where you can use magic, although oddly enough I'm not sure if I'll end up using magic in this game. The preview materials have made it look a little more complicated than I want it to be. But I'm drawn to the survival elements. Apparently there is like crafting and cooking and camping and all these kinds of things that I have come to appreciate since playing a game like No Man's Sky or Conan Exiles. And while they have compared the game to Dark Souls, I feel like a number of games make that comparison without actually really being as punishing and as difficult as Dark Souls or Bloodborne. And if that's the case here, if it's not as difficult as those games, or if there's some way for me to grind and compensate for my lack of both patience and ability in action games, then there could be a game here that I'll really enjoy. I just don't know. But I think back to last year at about this time where I felt the same way about Monster Hunter World. That game really surprised me, ended up being my game of 2018. Will the same thing happen again with Outward? I don't know. Let's find out. Alright, no difficulty options, which doesn't surprise me. Alright, well, let's do this tutorial. There's definitely a delay I'm not fond of, you know. I mean, it's like click, swing. And that's the quick attack. Special attack is click. It's not as slow as like Elix felt, and I was able to adjust to this kind of more labored combat as it was in Monster Hunter World, but only by using the fastest weapons available in that game, so I don't know if I'll like this combat or not. Blocking with R1 prevents the damage from a strike and reduces how much you would be knocked back. They're missing the word "be" there. Shields consume less stamina when blocking and can block arrows. Okay, so I can just hold on to block. That's nice. Oh, but I've got a shield meter or something? Don't quite understand that. Oh, do I have to be facing him in order for the block to work? I guess so. Oh, okay, so I have no stamina, but I can still block and avoid damage, I guess. Oh wait, no. Maybe not. Okay. Okay, so that's a stability bar at the bottom of the screen. When it's down to 50, I can get knocked back. When it's down to 0, I can be knocked down. Okay. Man, a stamina bar and a stability bar? I don't know. We'll see. Throwing a fireball. Okay. First, put the spark and fire sigil skills in your quick slots. And be certain to have fire stones in your inventory. Most spells require items in your inventory or an effect active on you. Take some fire stones on the table so you can cast fire sigils. Take astral potions to replenish your mana. Okay, cast a fire sigil, then use spark while standing inside the sigil. Fire sigil. Did I do it? There we go. Okay, and now spark. Aesthetically, I kind of, you know, am interested in magic that requires a little bit of like setup and ritual activity. I just wonder if in practice it's going to be one more cumbersome thing that's not really my style of gameplay. Now, obviously, if you like Souls-type games or punishingly difficult games, I'm just gonna seem like a big wimp to you, and that's fine. This content is probably not for you. I'm really kind of making this for people that maybe are kind of on the fence, that aren't really into Souls-like games, or that maybe, you know, would normally not give a game like this a try. So you, that person of an unidentified demographic that I fall into, we'll take a look at this together and see if it might be for us. Physical skills often require you to wield a specific weapon type or to have a status effect active on you. Use Enrage to gain the Rage boon, and only then you can use Predator Leap, since the Leap requires having Rage active on you. Okay. Rage boon. This skill is still in cooldown. Oh crap. I experimentally pressed that button a while ago. I'm just gonna have to wait for a while. That's a long cooldown. Let me just put this down for a minute. It'll be interesting to see how far I want to push myself with this game, you know? It was a $40 game, so I definitely feel some desire to make good use of the money I spent on it and try to find a good experience I can enjoy here, but I won't have as much drive to do that maybe as if I'd spent $60. Alright, now we're ready. Yeah, it was already 2/3 of the way through its cooldown cycle, and that was about, I don't know, 1 or 2 minutes, so that's at least probably about a 3-minute cooldown total for that skill. So it's probably like a once per combat type situation, unless combat is... No, combat's probably more cumbersome and drawn out than that. Alright, Rage Boon. And now... Leap! Oh, that didn't leap as far as I thought it might. Leap! Oh, now I gotta wait for this cooldown? Oh my gosh. This is a tough sell right now. Is Path of Exile downloaded yet? Oh jeez! What the crap? Oh, I guess I'm bleeding now. Can I go into this stuff? This probably isn't good for me to be in here. Oh jeez, am I dead? Oh, I died in the tutorial. Okay. Appease your thirst and hunger, or you will pass out. Animals and plants provide food, while bodies of water can quench your thirst, though you will need a water skin to carry water with you. Cook your meat and boil your water so as not to become ill. It takes a long time to recover from illness, though medicinal teas can help. Oh, interesting. Potent meat from prime animals which rots quickly and carries diseases while raw. Interesting, okay. Okay, in hot climates, drink water and wear clothing tailored to protect against the sun. Heavy armors rarely protect against the heat, though. In cold climates, campfires and torches can warm you up. Padded or fur-lined clothes also protect against the cold. Oh man, even coins have weight. They're not messing around. Equipment breaks during combat, lanterns burn out. I feel like there's gonna be enough stuff wearing out on me and that I gotta keep track of that, gosh, I might just want this game to not have any combat. And just let me enjoy exploring the world and keeping myself fed and sleeping and all the things I need. You lose maximum health when you take damage and maximum stamina by performing strenuous actions? My gosh. Okay, that's the end of the tutorial. The failures of my bloodline weigh heavy on me. My grandmother brought ruin to our tribe long ago, bringing a heavy blood price upon my family. We've paid the debt caused by her actions ever since. I joined an expedition across the sea with my old friend Yazan, hoping the money made there would be enough to clear my debts. This was a mistake. I'm lucky to still be breathing after our ship hit rocks on the return voyage. So this is the story setup. But there's no voiceover, no even music playing in the background to set the mood. It's just these silent screens with text. I knew it was a smaller team. I think it's only like 10 people that made this game. And it's a $40 price tag. So, you know, there are definitely some indicators that we shouldn't expect AAA extravagance. Still, I'm a little surprised that there's not at least music playing in the background right now. Okay, I decided to go with a female model again this time, because I really got attached to the idea of kind of playing as my wife Holly in Monster Hunter World. And that was a game that I thought I was not going to enjoy. So I don't know if playing as quote-unquote my wife helped me root for her a little bit more in difficult situations, but this being a Souls-like, I could use every reason to want to root for my hero to persevere, because normally I'm just going to totally give up on these kinds of games. But I'm sure my wife would like to be a little more conservatively dressed, so let's see if we can fix that ASAP. Yeah, the graphics definitely have a bit of a budget look to them. But what's important to me is not that the graphics be the most, cutting edge, but that they be detailed enough to convey the design of the world well. I think a good visual design can overcome less than great graphics. Huh, I was expecting more detailed textures than that on the clothing. That's interesting. I half expected the textures to pop in a second, but they haven't yet. Ito made it out alive too. Thank Elot. Okay, Elot, so first reference to some kind of a deity. We'll see where they go with that. Sleep heals tiredness, max health, and max stamina, but reduces your max mana? Why would sleep reduce my maximum mana? That just seems arbitrarily punishing. Yeah, the production quality reminds me of, I want to say like the Gothic games a little bit, like Gothic Arcania, where it's like, it's good enough, but it's definitely nothing fancy. So this game for me is probably really going to hang on the gameplay itself.
A blood price is sacred. You can't just shrug off that responsibility.
Gosh, the way they're doing the voice acting, I'm actually not a fan of. They're having the voice actors say like maybe half of the line or the first third of the line, and then you have to read the rest. And I find that distracting. I think I might try to turn off the voice acting so I can just read at my own pace without a voice distracting me from my reading.
If I don't see the money from you by the time I count to 10, you'll regret you ever came home!
Oh man, that's a totally different line in the back half.
Yeah! You were on that ship too, weren't you? How many lives must your family be responsible for destroying before enough is enough?
Wow, that's like barely the line that I'm looking at.
To threaten someone like this while the lost lives are still fresh is an insult to their memory.
That wasn't even remotely what's written there. So which version is the story they intend for me? The text or the voice acting? The line there was supposed to be, Holly is a victim of that shipwreck too. Of course, they're not going to say my character's name, that's fine. Under the laws of the Blue Chamber Collective, I have declared a period of mourning. You understand what that means, don't you? Alright, so I got 5 days to make up the debt. Oh, so here's the crime of my grandmother. When your grandmother was chamber lady, she turned away the followers of Elot, presumably their god, in our time of greatest need, forcing the tribe to pray only to the 5 winds for protection. So the blood debt of your family is some kind of like religious abuse or something? Like your grandmother was a religious authority of some kind and turned away followers of their god in their time of greatest need, forcing them to pray only to whoever the 5 winds are for protection. Rainbow trout, seaweed, and salt in a pot. Oh, but he doesn't put those ingredients. That's not in my journal. Rainbow trout, seaweed, and salt in a pot. That's how I make the Cierzo's ceviche, but that information is not in my journal? So am I going to have to, on top of playing a difficult game, combat-wise, have to take a bunch of notes? Okay, so he might be able to send me to a stash near the old shipwreck to the south. When you open it, remember that the moon commands the stars. Am I gonna have to, should I make a note of that? Oh geez, that doesn't even appear in my quest log at all. Ugh. Ah, man. No, I'm not gonna take notes. I'm not gonna take notes. To get to Blister Burrow, head out of Cierzo's main gate, then follow the road to the left. When you get to another fork in the road at a wooden gate, turn left again. That better be in my journal. Ugh. Nothing. Except that it's northeast of Cierzo. Oh man. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. This brings to mind the topic of quote-unquote realism in games. How can one person say, oh, that's too much work to do something in this game, and another person said, that's realistic, man? The truth is we're all interested in just selective realism. At some point, the more a game leans toward realism, the less you're going to enjoy playing it. We don't complain, when our characters get sick in a game, but we remain healthy and we don't feel like puking or whatever. So I think the appeal to realism it's really subjective. For example, one point of quote-unquote realism in this game is that there is no map. Or if you look at the world map, it doesn't show you where you are on the world map. I'm typically not a fan of difficult games, certainly not punishing games. People want that, that's great. But at the end of a long workday, I just want to relax. I'm too busy trying to get good at real life to bother spending much time working on that in some video game. I don't like that the game starts me out on a clock. I've heard that time can pass and you can miss out on being able to retain your home, but you can potentially get it back later on or something like that. I think I'm just going to have to give myself over to the fact that I'm not going to be able to keep my home right now. Because I'm going to take my time and be as slow and careful as I want to be. So yeah, no indication of... Wait, is that me? No, that's not me. No indication of where I am on this map. Of course, time also doesn't pause while I'm looking at the map. All to be more realistic. So there are trainers in town, but they require money to take advantage of. I was hoping to get a little more capable before going out into the wilderness, but I think I just need to go out there. It's time to go outward! I'll get a free skill from the guy at the gate with the weapon of my choice, but I think I have to have that weapon equipped. So I want a bow and arrow, because I think for me I need to avoid magic. From what I've seen of magic, it just complicates things and takes longer to pull off. I'm going to be looking for the easiest and simple way to kill enemies as possible, which is probably going to be sneaking and attacking from a distance. Oh, my bag's overweight. Is there a merchant I can sell to? Shopkeeper Doran, but where the crap am I? See, there's the lighthouse. This is what they want me to do. So then it should be just off to... Wait, where's Town Hall? I am like loaded down. Is this Town Hall? Where's the shopkeeper? Oh, I'm moving so slow. Oh, that looks like a sign. Is there a shop here? Come on, aren't you the shopkeeper? Oh, okay, so I gotta go left. Simple bow, huh? How come I can't sell my shield? This is a blacksmith. He should be willing to buy my shield. Alright, got my bow and arrow. Now I will learn a skill for my bow and arrow and travel outward. Oh, I'm getting thirsty. And I'm encumbered. Oh, that is a big ugly looking thing down there. Yeah, this is unavoidably looking pretty bland. For a game that's based on exploration, you know, I really do appreciate having, I guess, more detail. Hey. Oh, jeez! Oh, jeez! Oh, my gosh! What I would love to do is just not fight creatures for a good long while and find some ways to kind of level up, as it were. Some ways to earn money. You know, they kind of present this game as like you're just a normal person. So I'm wondering, will they let me get by just living a normal person's life? Can I go and craft simple things and sell them for money and just make my way in the world as a craftsman of some kind? Yeah, I just want to see if there's a way to kind of advance in this world while doing very little combat. Jeez, am I going the right way? Am I going to get home going this way? I might be lost. I think this is the way I came. Yeah, I think that's the primitive club that I dropped. Yes! Talk to Izan in the village of Cierzo. Talk to Oliel in the village of Cierzo. Oh, in the cities, the location of important characters can be seen on the map. You are not an important character, so you cannot be seen on the map. Wait a minute, I thought you said they could be seen on the map. Why tell me that if you're not going to put them on the map? Are they sleeping? Do I need to go to bed? Is that what this is about? So I gotta run across town, go to sleep, then maybe come back to the front gates and hope that they'll be there. I can't advance the clock, I guess. Because that wouldn't be realistic. Wait a minute. Only like 1 minute passed. I said I wanted to sleep for 16 hours. That's not realistic. Wait a minute. I just unequipped my hat, and it disappeared. That's not realistic. Maybe it went into my backpack? Well, then it should be all crumpled up when I take it back out again. That's not realistic. That hat should lose some durability every time I stuff it into my backpack. That's not realistic. So my friend Oliel wants me to go on the holy mission with her. I put up some resistance to the idea, but she says the holy mission is about more than working for a god or fighting the scourge. It's also about helping everyone regardless of tribe or family. But see, here's the thing. If your god is really worth worshipping, then working for them should be the highest honor, the highest goal, the highest good. See, if we were talking about the God of the Bible, then part of working for God is serving and loving other people. So it's almost like she doesn't have a very high view of her God. Like, well, it's not just about serving God. You know, it's about helping people too. I know, serving God isn't that big of a deal. It's not just about that. First, protect and look after those who are in need. Second, have discipline and mastery over yourself. And third, always seek to improve yourself so you can better help others to improve and help one another. It's a good set of values to live by. I mean, it just sounds like humanism. You can do that without a god. Let's achieve, let's unite, let's work together and be the best we can be. That's all that is. Good things, but it stops with humanity. Serving humanity is the highest value, and humanity being the highest good. In fact, if you join the Holy Mission and give up your bloodline, you'd be free from ever making payments on your blood price as well. It's the ideal clean slate. So yeah, you can also profit financially. All good reasons to dedicate your life to some god. If you want to join us, meet me in Monsoon, in the hallowed marsh. The road you need to take to reach the marsh is in the east of the Chersonese. I freaking hope this is in my journal. It doesn't look like I've been left any information about how to follow through on that quest. And I didn't take any notes on it. Oh, a priest of Elat, right? What can you tell me about him? As a human, oh, here we go. He was far from perfect. Okay, say no more. If he used to be human, he's never going to be worth worshipping. As a human, he was far from perfect. He was supposedly brash and full of himself in his younger years, but he strove to improve himself day by day and founded the tribe without name, governed by the 3 pillars the Holy Mission still follows, which are essentially those things Oliel, or whatever her name is, said about being a good person and helping other people and helping them be good people. Never mind what good is, we don't know how to define that. Or we'll just very conveniently define it as helping people. That's very speciest. Then came the Scourge. Elat, being a master of magic, sacrificed his very humanity and became living thought, guiding us to the uneasy stalemate we've known for most of this century. So he sacrificed his very humanity as if humanity was this good thing that he had to let go of. It was a sacrifice to let go of it. By contrast, God sacrificed by taking on humanity. That was his sacrifice. The 5 winds we once prayed to were capricious. Elat, however, I've had the honor of speaking with him. He is very real. Having a god that was once mortal is comforting. He remembers what it was like to wear flesh like we do. That's weird. I mean, he's also flawed. If he was once human and now a lowercase g god, I mean, he's finite. Whereas God can experientially relate to being human because he took on humanity, but he didn't start as human with flaws and problems and sin, stumbling through life, and then eventually just got really good at life and became a god. I mean, you could never describe that kind of being as the ultimate, as the one good above all other goods. And that's the only thing that's worth worshipping, is that good which is above all other possible goods. Hello? Is it just dark in my house? Do I need... Why... What the crap is going on? No, I can't see my menus either. Okay, something's broken. Oh, there he is. Izan Argenson and Helen Turnbull. Now they're on the map. But wait a minute. You're telling me I have a map that, like, puts people on it to show me where they are currently? It's just a map. That's not realistic. See, all these things in blue, is that their way of telling me this is important, write this down? My preference would be that the things in blue are indications that this is what we're going to put in your journal. This is the key important stuff. Looking to the Futures log has been updated. Alright, let's see if it's been updated with anything useful. Wow. The only way it's been updated is to indicate that, yes, I did talk to that dude. That's it. None of that information he told me about how to catch up with him, how to connect with him, how to go where he's going, none of that is in the journal. Alright, let me talk to Risa. Maybe that will close out, that'll check off all the boxes for this quest, and then maybe I'll get new logs, missions, or whatever that'll have that information in blue. I'm going to Berg. Oh, more blue text for her. Here's where I'm going. I'd like you to meet me there. Take the road to the southeast of Chersonese. Well, that would be handy information. I hope you weren't expecting me to write that down. Looking to the futures log has been updated. Let's see... Nothing. Almost nothing. Go to a city in the Enmarkar Forest, the Hallowed Marsh, or the Abrasar Desert to join a faction. Innkeepers can give you directions. Okay, so at least there's that. Innkeepers... But why can't you just put the directions in my log? Come on. Well, because that's not realistic, Pater. This isn't realistic to put this here. If you can put this in here, just put a little more information in here. At some point, it just feels like arbitrarily punishing. And that's going to be different for every person. But I think my threshold comes a lot sooner than it does for most. But I do think we need to consider abandoning that whole appeal to realism when defending the difficulty of games. Alright, I'm going to get a good night's sleep in my lighthouse, which I have to jog all the way to get to. No fast travel. It's not realistic. Oh my gosh, is this happening again? It happened again! Went into my lighthouse just to take a nap, and I got black screen, I got control over nothing. So, you know, a little bit buggy there. Haven't run into too much of that. I know, I'm being a bit of a stinker. I don't blame you for thinking that. But hey, YouTube lets any idiot share their perspective, so add one more. My gosh, it cost 60 silver to get 30 arrows. Okay, so I'm heading outward, but not very far. I get the feeling that if I go very far from town at this point, I'm gonna get my butt handed to me. And there are weapons in town, skills in town that I can take advantage of if I have more money. So I think right now I'm just going to focus on going out, hunting, gathering, figuring out how to earn some money so I can get everything I can possibly get from the resources of this town before trying to move on and discover another town. One more, one more. Oh, he's getting away. Come on now. Pop. There we go. Roll down that hill, baby. Oh! Oh my gosh, can I totally cheese him from here? That would be awesome. Oh, I got him! Oh, I totally cheesed that. Awesome. See, that's what I want to be able to do. That took a boatload of arrows, though, didn't it? Dried shell with few uses, but that can be sold at a good price. Alright, let's go find out what that price is. Oh, come on! I missed? How am I missing? Oh my gosh. He's about to kill me. I'm getting out of here. 9 silver, that's it? For a game that really doesn't seem to have any player progression system apart from the equipment that you can gain. I mean, I guess you can pay to learn certain techniques or something, but I even got away with killing a monster that I probably should not have been able to even try to attack yet. And the spoils from that, so stingy. I like the idea of an open world survival oriented game, but the combat is definitely more on the Souls side of Souls-like than I would prefer. What would be cool is if, you know, you play this game where you're in a fantasy world and you're not the hero, but there was still a way for you to kind of make a living in a satisfying way. Maybe if crafting was a much bigger part of the experience. I mean, playing this and it being the uphill battle that it is kind of makes me want to go back to Conan Exiles. That's another kind of mid-tier budget, open world fantasy game with survival elements, third person. It doesn't have a magic system, but the magic system in this game, I don't want to bother with the hassle of pursuing it. But in Conan Exiles, you know, where I can explore and go wherever I want, I can also craft a whole bunch. I can make my own base. I can hunt and gather and experience rewards from that so much more quickly. And I can even adjust the parameters of difficulty and change all kinds of elements of the game world to suit my liking. The whole slow, lumbering, delayed response combat style of Souls games is just not for me. I don't mind it requiring the use of a stamina bar and for you to keep track of stamina while you're in the middle of combat, but it's the slow response time. I mean, just like here, click, swing. That's really slow. Power attack, click, swing, swing. I mean, it's like so delayed. I'm not into that. Let me see if it's any better with the machete. Click, swing, click, swing, click, swing. Oh, just one. Click, swing. That was the slow one. Here's the fast one. Click, swing. Not into that. I want click, swing! Click, swing! Okay, so I have a max health of 100 right now. Currently it's at 94. If I can collect 50 coins, this guy will increase my health by 25. And then for a whopping 500, he'll increase my maximum health, stamina, and mana by 15 each. But let's just go for that 25 increase for 50 silver. That's what I'm working toward to make my life out in the outward just a little bit easier. So, how do I make that money without getting myself killed over and over again, rinse and repeat? Alright, I'm selling some stuff I don't think I'm going to need. Now, it looks like I can sell food here. Maybe if I hunt those birds for a while, cook up their meat and sell that. Let's see if I can make a profit off of that. Hey, those plants. I just took crab eye seed off of that tree yesterday, and already it's back? That's not realistic. Well, it may not be realistic, but it is handy. I'm looking for a regenerating source of food, and in particular, an easy source of food that I can cook and sell. And see if I can kind of make a living as a fisherman or a hunter. That's ultimately what I want to know, is can I grind on easier enemies, even though it's going to make my game experience with Outward take much longer than the average person's. Can I grind so that I can get the better equipment that can compensate for my lousy hand-eye coordination skills? If I can do that, then I think there's potentially something here for me in this game. Well, I can get 1 silver for my grilled salmon. Oh, I can get 1 silver for raw salmon. I don't even have to cook it. Alright, well that method's going to take way too long. I can't craft my own arrows unless I can find a good source of scrap iron or scrap metal around that will regenerate itself. Haven't found that. So I gotta buy a bundle of 30 arrows for 60 silver. So each arrow's worth 2 silver pieces. Oh, he's still wounded from our last battle, huh? 2 arrows? 3 arrows. Okay, so that's 6 silver that just cost me. Am I gonna get those arrows back? I get 2 of them back, so it cost me 2 silver. I get a bird egg and raw meat. Alright, let's go sell it. Oh my gosh! I'm breaking even! Bird egg gives me 1 silver, raw meat, 1 silver. Plus about 3 to 5 minutes of my time. Good gravy. Well, Reddit to the rescue. I just jumped on and found some ideas for gaining money, which involves cooking up recipes and stuff. So, I mean, there's going to be ways around it. There's also some glitch exploits to take advantage of. That doesn't really interest me because those are going to get patched out probably pretty soon. No surprise that, you know, the big money makers involve going out and doing difficult combat. Let's see, 2 raw meat plus 1 salt gets me travel ration. Good grief, I even went to the trouble of making up travel rations, making up a meat stew. Cooking up at least the basic recipes I have just does not produce the coins that I want. My gosh. I just don't think I'm going to have the patience to earn money in combat that gets me killed a lot. But you know what? Let's test that. There's one question I haven't answered yet. It's a very important question to me when I'm playing video games. And it's a question that can only be answered in reliable detail when playing a video game. And that's the question, what happens when you die? A lot hangs on the answer to that question for me in games. I think that there is potentially a Souls-like fan inside of me, but they've got to revamp how death works in those games. If it was like Braid or Super Meat Boy, where the instant after you die, you can jump back in time just a few seconds and try again. I don't want to see a death animation. I don't want to see a loading screen. I don't want to be sent back somewhere else. I gotta run back to the person I was fighting again. No. Wheat, wheat, dodge! Oh, that didn't work. Shoot, shoot! Slate, 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 slate! Oh! Oh! There I go. You awaken to the sight of a huntress from Cierzo pouring water into your mouth. Leaning on her, you manage to hobble back to Cierzo, more dead than alive. She refuses payment and leaves you with a firm pat on the shoulder. Oh, that's quite kind of her. But see, I know death is a roll of the dice in this game. You can also wake up in a bandit camp, or... Where's my backpack? Is that it right there? Does it have all my stuff in it? It does. It has all my stuff. Okay. Let's go get killed again. Oh, you got me. Where's my Oh, I'm still wearing my backpack. That's nice. Still have all my stuff. Cool. Oh, let's get killed again. What happens if I die here? Oh, it's the nice huntress again. Okay. Cool. So it looks like if you wake up from quote-unquote death in a situation you're not happy with, you can just kind of let yourself get killed again, and you can eventually wake up in town with your equipment. I don't think I lost anything. Yeah, I still have the same amount of silver, got all my equipment. Nice. I mean, I'm in rough shape, but I can go rest. I could potentially use that to enter into some risky situations, hope that I maybe kill one guy and get loot from him before I get taken down. And I could slowly inch my way into progression and gaining coins and stuff. But that still might be a more laborious process than I want to commit to. So... yeah, that seems to have worked. 27 silver. Let's try that again. Got it again. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I need to thank YouTube user Glitch Tutorial for that trick. I don't know if it's going to get patched out anytime soon, but I think I'm totally going to use it. It's a little bit laborious, but I think it's going to get me the cash that I want to get the better equipment so that I don't have to die as often. I've actually spent a little less than 5 hours now in this game, but I think I've made up my mind. Bottom line, if I could go back in time, I would tell myself to wait for reviews, wait for hardcore fans of the game to create videos that have tips and tricks, wait for patches that might improve things a bit, wait for a sale, even though it's only $40. I think it looks just plain and sterile enough that for a game that is based on the concept of moving outward, you know, it's based on exploration. I typically like those games to look better, to look more enticing, to have a world that beckons for me to go outward and explore. I'm interested in some of the survival systems. They feel a little bit laborious, but I think using the silver exploit to start myself out with like 1,000 silver so I can just get the best armor in town, upgrade a few stats through training. I think if I could do that, then I could enjoy some of the other systems that would have me progress in a more conventional way. And I do think that even using the exploit, that's not going to relieve me of having to engage with those systems, because it is a bit of a laborious process. I imagine I'll put on a podcast or something to keep my mind engaged and interested in something else while I use that exploit for a little while and just build up a huge nest egg of silver that I can keep in my stash at my home, that I can come back to whenever I need a little boost. And going that route might give me the padding that I need in terms of my armor and protection and stuff like that, that it would be worth it to me to explore the magic system, which I haven't done yet at all, but I've seen some preview videos and it looks a bit laborious. I want to see more of this world. I'm interested enough in this game and its systems and the world itself to want to go outward and explore more, but the nature of it makes all of that, my ability to do that at my poor skill level in games, too slow and cumbersome of a process compared to what I think it would be for a lot of other gamers. I'm mildly curious about the theology of the world and the chief god that's mentioned here. I'm a little bit curious about the factions. I mean, if I didn't pay anything for this game, it would be kind of a take it or leave it kind of experience for me. But since I paid $40 for it, I'm kind of like wanting to see if I can get some more enjoyment out of it, see if I can get further in using the silver exploit far enough that it'll get its hooks into me. But it hasn't done that yet. So unfortunately, my thoughts on this game are really inconclusive. But I'd love to get your thoughts in the comments below, and then of course I hope you'll join me over at christiangeekcentral.com as we continue to geek out and seek the truth.
I'm not interested.